Hey guys, it's Crystal Hemphill with Journey Into It. So today I wanted to do a little cute presentation. I've worked really hard on this for my 32U DeProgrammed. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so this is the ultimate deprogram to heal within. And yes, it's developed by me, Crystal Hemphill. These are a few ways that you can get in contact with me. Probably the best is going to be at journeyintoit@gmail.com. You can reach me via Facebook as well. Um, I should have put my tag for my original Facebook page. This is my Facebook business page. And then also you can get in contact with me and go see some really neat stuff on www.journeyintoit.com. Okay. All right. So who am I? Who is Crystal Hemphill anyways? I am a healing practitioner and I specialize in shadow work. Now, why in the world am I specializing in shadow work and what have I healed from? I want to go ahead and say that I feel that this path was chosen for me. As much as I have tried to take a different route, I'm always brought back to this the shadow work and helping to heal others, helping to facilitate their healing. So I had a lot of healing to do within throughout my life. Some experiences that I had was early childhood sexual abuse to overcoming selective mutism. That was a really big one to me, to physical and emotional abuse, and a few other things in there. Piece by piece, I stitched myself together, pieces I knew, and I definitely discovered things that I did not know. I think that's the most amazing thing about this program is that you are going to discover things that you never in a million years would have even thought of. So through this journey, I learned my worth and what I value and who I am. And so through all of this, 32U is created. This D program is created from what has helped me through my journey of deep inner healing. I use tools I have learned along the way to assist in the healing process and the discovery of who you are. So, my mission is what I know to be my path and purpose to be a guiding light for others as we walk through their healing and face themselves in ways that they never have. Okay. And, part of my mission is I promise to be there with you, for you, to assist you through this process. Okay. So my goals are to journey into the deepest parts of you and heal within so that you see the changes in your life. After all, as within, so without. So, to see your value and your worth, to truly see yourself in a new light with profound understanding, and to experience life the way it was meant to be experienced, full of peace and joy, and full of passion and love and excitement. So, let's talk about who 32U is for. Who is this going to benefit? So, much like me, maybe you have been through past trauma, sexual, physical, or emotional abuse, early childhood trauma, those sorts of things. Um, I definitely can relate. Like I said, I've been there, I've been through those things, and I've healed through those things. Another one, if you feel, and I know many people have reached out to me about this one, feeling like their inner child wants to speak, like their inner child wants to be heard. And that's another part of this is deep inner child healing as well. Maybe you have had repeated life patterns. So this could go hand in hand with failed relationships consistently. I mean, over and over. I've been there consistently picking the wrong partner. I've been there too. Triggered emotions and reactions. Maybe you react in certain ways, and I feel like that's kind of where my specific journey started with my healing process altogether. Is I began to question why I did certain things, or why I acted in certain ways, or why my reactions were the way they were, why I felt these certain emotions. I didn't understand the concept of triggering back then. So this could go as far as like anger and lashing out, resulting in violence, jealousy, sadness, etc. Here's a big one: confusion on how you feel, or not understanding why you feel the way you feel. I don't know how many times I had woken up and been like, oh, why do I feel this way? I can't shake this off. That's one of the things that there could be a root cause to why you're going through those certain emotions, and depression and anxiety. Another good one here is awakening. If you're going through your awakening process, so I'm talking about like the star seeds and the light workers and dark workers and healers, etc. Those that are transitioning through this process and are ready to level up in your path and your purpose. This deprogram is for you. And I also wanted to include physical. So our bodies, they will speak. If you will take the time to listen, your body has a lot to say. On the physical level, we're talking about dis-ease, something that is not at ease within your body, within your mind, can show up when emotions are repressed. Physical symptoms also can come from the past traumas and other things from your past lives, or even parallel lives as well. So all in all, this program is working on a multi-dimensional level, okay? So let's talk about the power of the 32. So I chose these numbers for a very specific reason. Not only has 32 been my calling, or angel numbers, could be another way to say it, synchronicities. 32 was always that number for me and still is. I just looked at the date on my laptop. It's 3/30, 2022. Nice. So, a very powerful date for me in itself. So, 32 has always been that number. So, we're going to work with those numbers during this D program. So, the power of the three, we're going to work with your mind, your body, and your soul, as well as the past, present, and future. So that's where some of the things that I talked about prior kind of comes in, with past life trauma and physical ailments coming into this life from those things. So we definitely dive into past lives. If that's something that you're approaching me with, just know that again, we're working on that multidimensional level. Okay. With the power of the two, we're going to work with your dark. Yes, your dark and your light. So, this is the big player where the shadow work, the deep inner healing comes into play. Working with that dark and light, bringing those things forth from the unconscious. We're going to move them from that unconscious space into the conscious for that profound healing. Okay. By the end of this program, this is my goal: that the power of these two numbers, the three and the two, come together to vibrate at the five. And that to me vibrates on the level of transformation, of freedom, freedom from emotions, and freedom from attachments, radical changes implemented into your life where you're going to see them in your day to day experience. And of course, having clarity and that deep understanding of who you are. All right. So, what can you expect during this program, this DeProgram? So, of course, you're going to have sessions and support. This is a 5-week program. Each week, we're going to have a session. Okay. It's very important because the numbers are very important to me because we're working with the power of those. So, I did make it a 5-week experience, one session per week. Throughout those 5 weeks, you are going to have on call support from me. So at any point that you feel something coming up for you, reach out and I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. As long as I'm not sleeping, sleeping, then I'm going to be there for you. Okay. And as soon as I wake up, I'm going to be like, okay. So I am there for you to support you through this whole ordeal. And you might find me checking in with you as well. Sometimes I do give little homework exercises, personal work exercises. So I might check in with you on that to see how that's coming along. And also, I like to do follow ups even after the deprogram to see how your experience is going. Okay. So, some of the tools that I use, the biggest one that I'm bringing forth is my intuition. Everything about this program is intuitively led. So, we do a free consultation, which I'll talk about in a moment. And during that, I will get a really good feel for you and know exactly what we're going to implement during these weeks. Okay. So, some of the tools that you might see that we use is beyond quantum healing hypnosis. That works on a multidimensional scale in a way that opens you up to your past lives, even your future self as well. I think that is really cool about the BQH. And then EFT, I love EFT because it really allows for an energetic movement to allow energy and emotions to begin to move to be able to come to the surface. I will also use NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. Lots of deep diving questions with that, as well as that shadow work and inner child healing. So I will be asking a good bit of questions, but it's only meant for to dig deeper beyond what just the conscious mind wants to say. So we're moving into that area that's almost been blocked off, and there could be barriers there, and we're going to bust through those barriers and bring that stuff forward. And let's see, so some other things is rewriting limited beliefs. I know I had tons of limited beliefs that I had to rewrite, and soul contracts as well. We can rewrite soul contracts. And we'll also be doing a lot of subconscious exploration, which is super fun. The bonuses here during this program is you get to receive, this is a definite, you're going to receive more near the end of the program a whole heart energy healing and activations with wisdom codes. Okay. So when I do this energy healing, it's probably unlike anything you're going to experience. Not only is it energy healing in itself, but I also speak light language and bring forth these activations and codes for you. It's only meant for not only healing, but to expand you in a way that your consciousness activates certain things within you that's going to be for your highest good on your path ahead. Okay. So, this is especially important for those that are taking the path of healing, that are taking the path of healers as well, because it's going to activate these codes within you that is really going to put you in alignment with that said path. Okay. You also might receive a personalized digital encoded art, which is light language as well. This is yours to keep downloaded for you to meditate with, look at anytime that you may need. Sometimes a lot of people feel that it's only it serves its purpose after that one view and they've received those codes. You can get it printed out and hang it in a picture frame and hang it up. Like I said, it's yours to do with whatever you want to with, and they are absolutely gorgeous. If you want to see more of that, you can definitely go to my website at journeyintoit.com. All right, and we're also going to talk about goals to implement changes moving forward. And also, your biggest bonus is working with me. All right, let's see. All right, so let's talk about the pricing here. The very first thing I wanted to discuss on this note is a free consultation. This is the most important thing for me to make sure that you are committed to this and that you are comfortable with me. Therefore, I am offering the free consultation for us to get to know each other and to make sure that I'm right for you and that 32 you is right for you, okay? So there has to be that vibrational alignment. And I definitely want to know, I cannot press this enough, that you are committed to this, that you are committed to you. Very, very important here. All right, I do have a split payment program. I personally would never want someone to miss out on this opportunity to heal and to grow because of finances. Okay, so I will do a split payment to make it more available. And I said, tit. I'll fix that. So examples could be like a half a payment before the first session and the other half at the midpoint, or we can divide it into 4 payments for you, okay? Or you can pay in total, and the total price for 32U, the full 5-week DeProgram, is $532. See the significance in those numbers. Very, very powerful. All right. And this one here just is recapping. Are you ready? Are you ready for a transformation? This is deep inner healing, personal discovery, and understanding, creating the life that you truly desire and living. And I mean truly living. That is what this program is going to do for you if your commitment is there. That's why it's so very important for that. So I just wanted to pop off with some little reviews. I do have 2 up on my website that they so graciously allowed me to share. I'm so thankful for this. So Shannon says, I am so thankful for you and for this. I never imagined some of the things that came up during the sessions for me was actually holding me back in my day-to-day life. That's very common. I just wanted to update you and let you know how enjoyable life truly is. That just makes my heart warm. I see myself for the first time and have this deep urge to continue where before I was ready to give up. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Shannon. All right. And Ash says a lot of emotions, a lot of releasing, and a lot of realizations came about during the 32 UD program. I learned so much about me. I can't count the number of times my jaw dropped during our sessions as these realizations came about. Yes, I remember. There is such an intense healing within me that has taken place. It is indescribable. It really is. I just wanted to thank you for being there, supporting me, and helping me heal and discover who I truly am. Forever grateful. And I'm forever grateful for you, Ash. Thank you guys for allowing me to share that. All right. And then again, here is my contact information. Again, the best way to reach me is journeyintoit@gmail.com. You can go on the website at www.journeyintoit.com. Go to the tabs and you will see 32U program. And scroll to the bottom, and there is a calendar that you can go ahead and book your free consultation. Okay. If there's any problems with that time frame, then I will reach out and reschedule with you. But it should be set up very easily and good to go on that note, okay? And then again, if you want to add me on Facebook, I am at Journey Into It and Beyond is my business page, okay? All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining in. I will see you next time.
222. 2022. I am so tired. And it's Friday. So I'm, the whole left side today is very painful. It started out yesterday as just that one spot that I shared with you last night. But now it does feel like my entire left side is involved. And I know I did it again. Why am I saying left side? It's my
There's
right
a
side.
reason why you're saying left side.
Yeah, but I
Look,
know because it's not my left side. So what do you think that is? I know I know that I receive new energies through my left and it leaves is there a part of me that's when I said that to you about I must be trying to hold on to something, is that why I keep saying left? And I
um,
don't even want to acknowledge the fact that it's over in the right, like it's trying to leave. I mean, what am I blocking it? That's my question, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
I feel like there's some kind of point to be understood that it's just below the surface. And you're absolutely right. There is a reason that you keep saying left. However, at this very second in time, I'm not sure if that's the case that you're resisting letting go of something rather than not seeing something that's simply under the surface, and it's coming up as an aggravation point, something to get your attention, something to say, hey, let's see what's up under here, let's see what this is. You had mentioned that Lisa put her hand on it and definitely felt that pullback from her sending energy to it. And
Right.
typically we were speaking on this last night, and typically I'd be like, okay, well, let me send some energy. mm, that thought didn't even pop in for me. It was just an automatic. That's not my ordeal to be sending energy to that. It's something that needs to be recognized, um and not necessarily letting go of in the context that I feel letting go is meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So let me see if I can repeat what I thought I heard you say, so you can, make sure, so I can make sure I understood you. So it it's it feels like you were saying that maybe there is something that just like needs to be recognized for what it is, that something that I'm not seeing, not necessarily that I'm holding on to, that needs to leave, but something that needs to be recognized before anything else can happen, really.
Yep.
I mean, that's my own part that kind of came
Yep.
with that.
That's what I'm feeling.
Well, and that also makes kind of sense. Remember, I showed you where that place was last night that started out as just a little like twinge. And actually, even after you and I parted, well, in the wee hours of this morning, which is another reason why I'm so tired. Um, I as I was getting up from the chair, I realized that it's really only certain ways I moved that it actually even presented, right? But like I said, but now today, the entire, and I almost said left again, right side is engaged. Now, yet, I mean, last night I was having also some, tension in the right like trap up here,
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's like the whole entire right side is engaged, including the hip. And like I was saying, sharing with you earlier before we got on camera, it's now moving into like a deep, almost in the bump. Well, now also, I'll be honest with you, I'm 60, and some of this with the hip is starting to feel like a little bit like arthritis because it's going down into the knee, and it's getting colder here. I don't know if that's happening for you down there in South Carolina, but
Yeah.
yeah, up here it's been cold all day, and it's even colder now and going to be cold tomorrow. So it could be a part of that as far as that ache is concerned. But that pulsing that I was speaking to you about when we texted back and forth just a little bit ago, that is not part of what could be considered arthritis or, weather related. So, and none of this is to the point where it's so painful. I mean, I'm about to take a kratom, of course, yes, because I haven't had one all day and it's the evening time now, and it really is getting to be a little bit more than I care to deal with. But it's not to the point where, you know,
Well, the pulsing is an attention seeker. I did hear that. So
it's not the attention seeker.
it is the attention seeker.
Oh, it is the okay. I wasn't sure I heard you right. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, me personally, when I have something creep up in my body that obviously is getting my attention, but, there's nothing that is explaining whatever that is, like I legit talk to my body. I will tune in to that specific location and just have an open dialogue with it and see what comes up, what needs to be known, what is up under the surface, so to speak, that needs to come forward. So if you want to do that,
Well, I'm happy to
we
get
can
you to
do
help
that.
me. I would appreciate whatever help because I did initiate. Now, of course, I was very tired last night by the time you and I parted. But
Yeah.
I also did that when right before I asked Lisa to see what she was getting, right? And I know that, okay, so what I just heard is, okay, well, yeah, because why? You didn't trust yourself. The truth is, no, it wasn't that at all. I trust what I got because my original thing that I got was that there is an energetic blockage there that is trying to leave. It's in my right side. It's presented the way it did once before. And so remember I shared with you that one place that actually looks like a little bruise there has presented once before
Yeah.
in exactly that same place in exactly the same manner.
Yeah.
The thing is that I guess I didn't either get to the bottom of whatever that was, right? Or something for it to present in exactly the same way. I don't know. So that's why I decided this time to, seek some assistance because again, as know, because we've talked about that a lot, being a projector, I don't see in my own field too all that well. I do trust that I do have an energetic blockage. I trust that I do. I guess I just need a little assistance to see exactly what it is.
Well, that's an energetic block to me. Something that's there and you can't see it. Something that you're not recognizing.
Right.
That is an energetic block.
Well, I
So,
know. So that's why.
so
And
So when tuning into it, that's what you heard, is that it is an energetic block.
mhm.
Okay, did
Yep.
you go further than that and ask what specifically is being blocked?
I guess I did not.
Okay.
No. And I don't
What?
know why even, like I'm usually pretty thorough. So maybe there's something to that too, right?
Yep.
Hmm. Okay.
I have a feeling of what it is, but
It's too bad we don't have something like, how the game password is, where you know what I'm dating myself. Where you put down what you think it is and give it to somebody else, and then we work on it and envelope, please. No, I'm sorry. I have to joke about stuff like this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
you kind of have
okay.
to.
I would prefer. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So
Okay.
so yeah, I have a feeling of what it is, but and 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 again, it's just this feeling of that this is yours to discover in a
Right.
sense.
Okay.
So,
Well, and I trust that too. So, oh, let me take my shoes off so I can get my feet on the connected with the earth through my wooden floor. Okay. Now I've been home all of what, an hour? Is that what? No, but maybe about an hour and a half now. So, and thank you for doing this with me.
no problem. So, so yeah, I would just begin by tuning in to that spot. Just allowing whatever feelings are coming up within that area.
You know
Here.
what? You're right that this tension up here is. I mean, did I say tension or attention? Because all of a sudden, because as I was trying to tune into that spot in my back, this actually picked up and
Okay.
got more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like it said, oh, what are you down there for? That's kind of what it felt. So,
well, I do know something about you with just doing energy work and some of these little activities before is that your things like to run. They like to zoop 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 zoop.
that's true. That's true. I guess I'm a runner from way back, which is, which I'm trying to change. Thank you. Not trying to, I'm practicing on that
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. So if that's what wants to speak, if that what wants to have the floor right now in this moment, then just allow it. Maybe
Okay.
it's something you got to go through this to get to that type ordeal.
Oh, you know what? It could be
Yep.
because it really like as soon as you started talking about tuning in, I tried to direct my attention there. It picked up. It just started actually like pulsing even, which I've had pulsing go on. I shared with you earlier that I was feeling pulsing, going through my hip and down my leg.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm ready. I'm sorry. I had to get that kratom in. Okay.
All right. So just tune in to whatever area is gonna ping for you. And as you begin to tune into that area, just feel your consciousness moving more into that space. So that as if everything else, every other body part, every other physical sensation of you just falls away and just moving into that area.
Wow. Energy moving through my right side is so fast. and so I want to say furious. I mean, the so much so that the tone, even in that ear, in my right ear, is different than what I'm hearing in my left. Or, I know I'm not hearing it physically, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, it feels more muted, like I guess like it's blocked. Yes, because this tone even feels higher and louder. The energy is rushing, and I can hear and feel the energy rushing, but it's sort of muted, and the higher frequency isn't there.
Okay. So, can you literally feel it or just have this sensation of it moving from, like, let's say, like from your feet on the right side all the way up to the head and back down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Now that I've tuned into that area, uh, I'm not feeling the tension at all. All I feel is that rushing energy.
So it's got your attention.
Ah,
So good. So to me, knowing that you can feel the energy kind of rushing through the top to the bottom, it doesn't really feel like a full blown energetic block to me. So it kind of goes back to just something below the surface, something that
yeah.
just needs to be acknowledged. So now that you're in this space with that energy, I mean, you could ask, we can just get it started asking a simple question of, what is this energy? And just see what automatically, no trying to be logical about it, just the very first thing that comes to your mind when asking, what is this energy?
I'm not getting anything, but I am getting movement now. Only on the right side, and mostly right up here. I just ooh, and a ping in the hip.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, a big ping in the hip.
Okay. So let's ask, moving into that hip space, let's ask, is there a message that I need to hear?
I I am supported. That's what I don't
Okay.
know if I heard I am supported, or if it wants to know I am supported, or is there a part of me that feels like I'm
Okay.
not supported?
Okay.
But there's something about, which normally would be knees, I know, but why the hip? Why in this fashion? Okay, now I was shown a fall that I had. So I did fall several years ago on this hip. And so it makes sense that if I was feeling like I wasn't supported, or unsafe in some way, maybe even.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something that is, I don't recall feeling unsafe.
Have you
That's
felt lately that you've been unsupported?
no.
All right. Well, let me share this with you.
Okay.
Remember my back ordeal, like what, a month ago?
Hmm.
Everything that you had started off describing sounded very familiar to the beginning stages of what happened to me. Now, you know the full ordeal with that and how bad it had gotten. Um, and you actually did my BQH session, and we learned about the unsupported frequency, right? And
Yeah.
I had not consciously been feeling like I wasn't supported. But after I did my, inner work trying to figure out what this back ordeal is and began to talk to my body, did I realize, oh crap, I really do feel that way. And I was plugging into or creating this unsupported frequency, and it was showing up as physical symptoms within my body. So let's explore that unsupported feeling, okay? Um, so even though the conscious mind may not recognize feeling unsupported, um, let's think about that fall for a minute, okay? You fell on your hip, and subconsciously, you probably recorded what in that split second, what in that moment the unsupported feeling felt like, right? What you got?
Well, I went back to the fall just then and what was taking place at that point and why I actually fell. And I think I was feeling a bit unsupported, unappreciated. Uh, yeah. Oh, wow. When that injury occurred. Now, there's a whole lot of about that because, had I not been on my way back to health and got myself all hydrated and everything, that would have been a hip replacement because I was supposed to have had, osteoporosis. I was, diagnosed with all that, which, I'm convinced osteoporosis is nothing but dehydration. I'm sorry. There's, to me, you don't go from having osteoporosis and breaking 3 bones in your ankle and having to have surgery. And then, I don't know, 3 4 years later, 3 years later, you get yourself hydrated and you have a fall down 3 steps. I fell right out my back door and landed on my right hip. That should have been a hip replacement. It just should have been. There should have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, but anyway, I digress. At the moment that occurred, yeah, I was feeling unsupported in a whole bunch of different ways because I was trying to work on my marriage. I was, we were trying to communicate better. And it was also just trying to do that was causing a whole bunch of friction somewhere else. Well, a lot of different places, both with friends and family. Um, yeah, I can see exactly now, but I don't feel that way anymore. Or at least but see, now when you asked that question, the only thing that came to mind, and it was the very first thing that came to mind, there was silence for a moment. And then the question I heard was, could this in any way be connected to conscious conversation central, and the fact that that was taken away, right? Um, because what does that mean? Unsupported, because what I was engaged in was not only unsupported, but just not even allowed, right? So, I mean, I don't know. That's why that's the only thing that came forward.
Well,
But there was so much that went on right then.
here's my thinking on that. I do remember the last time this showed up for you, and to my recollection, it was before that actually happened. Now that could be a little mixed into the energy
Oh, you're
with
right.
the now. Um,
Yeah, that's
just like
true.
a little side note of the little hint of unsupport, but to me it feels to be something else that hasn't been recognized.
Yeah.
So when did this start? This time? When
This
did this
time,
pop back up?
yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, go through your day. You don't have to say it out loud. Just go through your day, or you can. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it just popped up yesterday. Think about exactly what was taking place, what was transpiring as to when that occurred.
Yeah, see, it didn't manifest until further on in the evening, but I think I know what it could have been tied to, but I think that was unsupportive energy. But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was. Hmm. Yeah, see, I'm not sure what to make of that.
Ooh, okay. Hold on. So I want you to think about the broader definition of support. Because sometimes when we hear a particular word, we can just single it and narrow it down to one specific focus of,
True, very true. And I'm famous for that. So give me a different word.
um, let's see, support.
Foundation's really not a word for that for me anyway.
I had one a moment ago, but when I
Oh,
when I brought this through, but I can't think of it now. Give me a minute.
it'll
So
come
when
back.
I think of support, I think of um, agreement, holding, openness. When I say openness, I mean like mentally open. Um, safety, of course, and that has many different ranges as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, this is what I like to do. I literally like to look
Look it
up
up.
the
Hey, listen,
definition.
I've done that too. And then the synonyms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I do it, man.
So to bear all or part of the weight of, hold up, um, brace, bear, reinforce, give assistance to, especially financially, enable to function or act, help, aid, assist.
Well, the question has arisen around me in regards to some of my behavior that I have always felt was supportive, that may not be supportive, um, that actually there may be other motives, that I may have some subconscious motives for some of those, so some of that supportive, and I'm using the air quotes on that, behavior. Now, again, I generally feel like I go through life doing what I want to do, following my joy, and, do what I want, harming none. But at the same time, I do stuff I want to do. I don't do stuff I don't want to do. So I don't, I'm not, I guess I get a little confused when I hear, just in conversation with others that, you know, that may not be the case always with some of my support. Now, granted, I know how I used to behave. Yes. Because I will do anything for anybody that I can give to anybody that I have that I know how to do. I I don't know. Maybe it's a codependent thing. I don't know. Again, I don't do stuff I don't want to do. And I don't do stuff expecting something from somebody else because I already know that's a dead end. I mean, because I've done that a lot in my life, and where, yeah, even when you have an agreement with somebody, I'm going to do this and you'll do that. I still go into it where if the other that doesn't come through, that's, no sweat off of me, because if it's something that I need to have, I'm going to take care of me. Well, I guess I got that way because of being a single mom for 7 years. So I don't, that's why I get a little confused sometimes when I try to look in here about things like that. Because okay, yes, the person I'm having the conversation with could be all wet. Maybe they got a motive for, bringing something up like that for me to consider. But because I want to see all of me, I'm going to look. I'm
But
going to, especially if it triggers something.
it really has triggered something for you. Like it's literally got up under your skin.
Right. So there has to be something there. But now my question is, what is it?
So, also, when I'm thinking about support, I'm thinking about how we can sometimes still have this um, old way of thinking that support is also someone being in agreement with our our intentions, our actions, our process, our things. But and the moment that someone isn't in agreement with how you're in agreement, it creates that dilemma within us, questioning, you know, well, is this something? And it's like it's kind of rattled something inside of you. Something has literally risen to the surface on you because of this.
Right.
um I keep hearing the word questionable, as if, why is this even questionable? I feel as though
This isn't the same thing as the other time with you and me where it came out that you were looking something for something that wasn't there. Remember that when
that's the
it,
same ordeal.
so it could be because just because of that being a difference of how something is being held
Hmm.
immediately. Now I'm going, oh well, wait a minute.
You're questioning yourself and your own integrity, your own views, your own values, your own way of being. You're questioning all of that because of
I just got a huge rush of energy right in that area where the original spot started. The way when you said you're questioning yourself, uh, and now I'm also being shown me asking Lisa to, because I was told that it's an energetic blockage. And it was also a sign of distrust of myself to even ask her to put her hand on me. So all I've done in all of this is create a nice little loop for myself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense now. I mean, there is an enormous amount of energy rushing through my right side, an enormous amount. And so much so just a moment ago, I was having, like pain here because it's involving just every part of it now. But after that one pulse down there, it's not sore. I wonder if that is, yeah, see, it feels different. So this is just another instance of my body saying, oh, wait a minute, I thought we were done not trusting what we get.
Mm-hmm. And your higher self popped in as the almost
Comedian, it always
cocky,
is.
very, very cocky. And I feel like your higher self was the one that was like, why is this even questionable? But there was an after note of, you should know yourself better than this by now.
Well, and I do. So that's why I said yes. Well, again, I but I also see what I did, okay, in another way because of the conversation, because of my love and trust and I don't know, just how I hold that entire relationship. I see what I did there.
So,
I,
with you saying that, I'm getting the pressure on the right side of the head over here because I feel like what you're holding with that is probably more along the lines of like a guilt feel, or some sort of residual emotion that does need to be let go of, because after all, we are human. And even the most spiritual of the spiritual of the spiritual are going to tiptoe off the wrong side every once in a while. And
right. Well, and no matter and like I said, what I was just shown and what I now realize I've done is I not only was it a matter of not trusting myself, but I actually took myself completely off the rung of, and yeah, I see what I did there. Like I said, I see what I did there. Not just not trusting myself, but moving over into the way someone else holds a thing versus how I hold a thing. And see, that is still more programming. I do recognize that, but I didn't recognize it in the moment.
yeah.
Partly too, because that whole part you said where about the agreement. See, I didn't even consider it in that particular way because when in having a discussion with folks where there's a lot of not just agreements, but a lot of ideology and the way you feel about things and all of that are very very similar, right? But none of us hold things identically. That's not ever going to happen, and everybody needs to get over that. But in my opinion, but that's just me. And so I forget that. Obviously, I did, and actually allowed another's idea, feeling, thought, and the way they hold it to supersede or cause me to question my own, what I already know about me and the reasons why. And being okay. And see, that's where that guilt thing, right, that you were talking
Yeah.
about for me, being okay with it being different for one thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I mean, and nothing, I mean, there was no, it's not that, it's certainly not, an argument or anything like that. It's just a difference of
Yeah.
how, not even an ideology at all. It's just a difference in how uh, personalities hold a certain thing. Had nothing to do with anything, it's not even any really big deal, but you know what I'm saying? The original conversation about that, I can see now where that absolutely, because I wasn't prepared in that moment to get to the bottom of the issue. And I just went along about my day. And that was where my mistake was, I feel,
Yeah.
in this moment of now,
Yep.
because it allowed that to now, I couldn't, I wasn't allowing it to leave.
Yep.
I just ignored it and pushed it under the rug and, yeah, ran
Yep.
from it. Really. I mean, in my little, Sheila shirt, as BZ would say, going throughout my day, it's like I just put it out of my head, right? But all the rest of it, okay, see, now I see exactly what I did. And while I can, wow, that was very interesting. I can still feel the energy rushing. And as I started to say that, and when I said it's very interesting, I had a giant pulse shoot out my foot into the floor. So that's why I said that's very interesting, because it was almost a little painful as it did that. And it's still this energy is still coursing. So I feel as though it's more than just this that's leaving, because there's a lot of stuff that I've been working on. So, but the actual pain, and this is now, I've got a little bit of tension because I'm tired, right? But that big feeling like, Quasimodo
Mm-hmm.
thing is not there, like it was just less than 5 minutes ago.
See how
Wow.
wonderfully that works? Just speaking to that particular area, like speaking to your body, allowing it to, bring forth those messages, whatever. It's so wonderful.
No, it really is, and I really want to thank you. This was very impromptu, and I know, I want both of us to put it out, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
on
that's fine.
both of our channels. I'm so grateful to you for. I know, we were going to try to get together and do a conscious conversation tonight with more folks from my channel, and well, no one contacted. So, but then again, I only said it the one
One
time,
time,
and
yep.
I haven't been live this week. So, which I really want to change. I want to start, doing more lives. I just wasn't up to it this week. I don't know. It's just been one heck of a week.
Yes, yeah.
So, but I really do want to do that. So I'm going to start doing that more, because I miss connecting with everyone,
Yeah.
you know. So, well, thank you for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
You see, this is why, and I'm so grateful that we could do it on camera, because I can't thank you enough. Not everyone, and I am one of those, right? I just don't think of the questions to ask. And by being able to work with you in this manner, you actually are assisting me get into that kind of a habit,
Yeah.
and just having you be willing to do this with me is so very helpful. And that's why, and this, I mean, I know that you and I are going to actually, and we can go ahead and announce that now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Crystal has been kind enough to offer me to go through the 32U program, and we're going to do it on camera.
Yes.
So everyone will get. Now it will be absolutely unique. I know that to
Yeah.
each person. So you can't say, oh, well, I can do the program with Sheila and Crystal because it's got to be your stuff, man. Yeah,
And
you can't.
I'm sure you're gonna even from this, like, this is a little taster too of what so a
Yes.
session could potentially be like. Though I would go a bit deeper because I did come up with some more things which we'll get to kick off our first session with. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
cool.
so glad.
But yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, I can just go through the program watching the recordings. Yeah, because it's going to be tendered to specifically for what's going on with you. But that's not to say you're not going to learn some tips and tricks through watching the recordings of how you could work with yourself. So,
No, that's true. That's absolutely so. And I'm like I said, I'm so grateful because I know how valuable after having, you and I becoming friends and doing this kind of stuff, I know how valuable this is. Okay. And I'm very excited about it and I'm grateful. And I really do want everyone who feels so drawn to tune in because and I want to say too that you do a free consultation. Hey, did you want to say anything about that, about what happened with your site? Because that might be, because you had some folks, just to let everybody know, Crystal had some folks that have signed up for a free consultation, but she wasn't notified. And so there's, so if you did contact Crystal through her site and you haven't heard back, please reach out to her again.
yeah.
And could I just say those folks that have had issue to reach out to journeyintoit at gmail.com?
Yep.
Okay. And just, that way, if you're interested in receiving the free consultation to see whether or not the 32U DeProgram will work for you, it's JourneyIntuit at gmail.com.
Yep.
Journeyintuit at gmail.com. And just, tell her you're interested in the free consultation for 32U DeProgram.
Yes.
I'm so grateful that that we could do this instead tonight because I was so tired. You and I were up really, really late and last night just
Yeah.
chatting. And
And I think
so
it was like 4 o'clock before I finally even went to sleep.
really,
And then I got up at 7.
well, I woke up at 8, but I had such a headache when I first woke up, but that's not unusual of late. I'm aware of what's happening there. The solar flares and stuff have been doing a real number on me. And it dissipates almost immediately once I get up and start moving
Mine
around.
too.
Yeah, isn't that
Yep.
interesting?
Yep.
Yeah, because I always make sure to drink 32 ounces of water before I do anything else. And I didn't even get all of my water in, and it had already dissipated. And so I just really feel like, and that doesn't happen all the time. It's when the sun's been really, really, really
Yeah.
active.
Yep. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to start paying more attention as to like when we're having solar flares to not be outside all day. Like, oh my gosh.
That the other day,
Oh
when
my
you told me
goodness.
that, I was like, "Are you kidding me, Crystal?" And
Yeah, it
all that
was.
physical work you were doing too.
Cutting grass and all that stuff, man. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to start paying more attention to that. So
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about this, but if you've been having headaches or like super body pains, you might want to look into the solar flare thing.
Yeah, well, I've said that a lot when before I even started looking into spirituality and consciousness expansion, because to me that's really more what this is for me, is my conscious expansion, right? But I was starting to look into the whole solar flare issue because of what was happening with my own personal pain. I was, I've said it on camera before. I used to be on 14 medications, and five of those were for pain specifically. And I, I got away from all of that, and I started keeping a pain journal, trying to figure out what was causing my pain. I was also following Ben Davidson over at Suspicious Observers. That's a YouTube channel, and he does a thing about space weather and the weather on the planet and the electromagnetic fields. He's a proponent of the electric universe theory, and I know that we all have electromagnetic fields, just like the planet does, just like the sun does, and all of that. And I happened one day to be sitting there doing my pain journal and talking about how bad the pain was. And he's talking about the KP index and what we're going through on the planet right now. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I started making these correlations, and lo and behold, now what I also found interesting for me, which others may as well, is that there was a period of time where
Did you freeze? You're frozen. Or you got knocked out, or I'm gonna pause. Well, there you go. You're back. You hear me?
am I
You're
back?
back.
Did did I leave completely?
No, you completely froze. But last time you did
Oh,
that,
okay.
Zoom shut all the way out, so I was about to stop the recording just in case.
Well, see, my laptop died. I had to plug in. I wasn't paying attention, and it went bloop. No warning, no nothing. So, sorry about that.
That's all right.
So, but like I said, there was a period of time from about, I want to say 2016, mid to late 2016, where I didn't, not every solar flare bothered me. And see, I found that kind of interesting too, in that if those were codes coming from the sun that I had already obtained, that my field wasn't in need of, or, whatever, then perhaps it didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I know my own physical body um, is, out of alignment. So that's, anatomically, right? I've got the scoliosis, and there's, messed up vertebrae and all of these kinds of things, right? Um, so I'm aware that there is a misalignment anatomically with my vessel. And so I feel like in some ways that also translates somehow, I don't know, into my physical form when the solar flares are coming in. I don't know how it works. I really don't. I know that most, pain that we have is actually tied to trauma or issues that need to be resolved, right?
Yeah.
I do realize that that's so. So I don't know what to make of some of the, because, like it's also a differing kind of pain, right? It's like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I really don't know what to make of all of it, because not all of my pain is attached to an issue.
Right.
obviously, like, like sometimes there isn't an issue, and I've made it an issue and pain becomes attached. Okay, which we just, figured out.
Yep.
So I don't, you know
but
what I mean? It's
but
anybody's
yeah,
game.
if you're in tune with your body, like you can definitely feel the different energy tone or the energy feel to what is from the solar thing or what is from personal things going on. You can
Right.
feel the difference. And there's no like words to even begin to describe what the difference is between those two. But if you're paying attention to your body, then I promise you, you will feel it. You will just know. There's this inner knowing of it.
Right. And honestly, for me, this whole paying attention to the body is relatively new. Honestly, only and even when Lisa would share with me that she would talk to her body and, get a response and just be very in tune with her body, I heard it became an intellectual exercise and quite
Yeah.
possibly still is. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I know that I do ask, but it's not apparently habit yet. It's not something I've integrated. If I had, perhaps, I wouldn't have said, Crystal,
Right.
help me,
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's times that I'll let it go way too far, obviously, my back ordeal, before I'll be like, hey, what's the deal? I forget too. Even myself does. But one really cool thing that I kind of trained my mind to do a long time ago, because I work with a lot of people and I work in their energy field, and I used to have a very huge ordeal problem, whatever you want to call it, about thinking that theirs was mine, and I had to learn some sort of trick to differentiate between what's their stuff and what's my stuff. And so I just kind of, it's just out of a natural habit now, but it took some time to get used to it. But when I first wake up, I'll just go ahead and check in with my body. How we feeling today? Anything sticking out to me? I do have back issues, and I might already have like a sore muscle right here. Maybe I did a little too much the day before, et cetera, et cetera. So, I'll go ahead and do a little quick check in with myself, with my body. And it doesn't take very long, just a few seconds, just to tune in and
right,
see anything sticking out. And then I go about my day. And when I'm working with someone, let's say I've got shoulder pain because I've had surgery on my shoulder before, and sometimes it does ache, like if it's cold and stuff like that. And so I know that that's mine, but then there's other days that I've already done that check in and I'm good to go, and I know there's nothing, going on in my physical body, and then I go to speaking to someone or doing a session with someone, and then I start getting all these physical sensations. I know for a fact that's their stuff. I'm simply feeling it so I can assist them, and that's it. So maybe try to start incorporating that. Just take a few seconds before you even put your foot out of bed to go ahead and do an inner check with yourself, with your body.
yeah, I am going to start doing that because I just need to do that, period, because there's a few things I could do to do that,
Well, I
like
think it's
my,
important for you too, because when you do like the lives and stuff, and you're constantly in and out of people's fields, um, it would be really good for you to start kind of tuning in. And not only that, like it's going to teach you the bigger span of things when those certain things do creep up. Oh, my wrist just started aching. What am I not letting go of when it comes to, feminine issues? Like those things creep in just to send you a signal, just to send you a message that needs real quick attention, and you're able to say, oh, I see that. I'm more conscious of that now. Now I can grow. Now I can expand from that. So it does open this kind of like doorway to that expansion.
right now, as we were sitting here, I started, I got this area again, right? But in a different way. So I asked, I ask, what is this about? And immediately, this is rewiring, is what I was told. And I'm not surprised to get that answer because, this happened for Lisa at least a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, actually. She's quite the template setter. And it, it has something to do with a rewiring. And I was about to say heart, and I was corrected. It's not the heart. It's something to do with a connection between the heart, the high heart, the brain, and it's affecting all of this all the way, all of it actually. And I'm guessing now, since it is the right side, that there's not just a rewiring, but stuff leaving from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that rewiring or whatever.
Yeah. Hence the energy with the foot thing too. I'm sure you'll continue to feel that as things flow out.
Right, because I was going to say heart, but I was very clearly shown that no, it's not just the heart because the high heart is involved. And that's very interesting to me now to get that answer, because as I was at the park with my granddaughter and my son today, I was having not the expansive, Grinch heart grew 3 sizes that day thing, but it was I wasn't quite clear. It wasn't pain, but I was aware that something was going on in this area right here. And that's what I mean, like from the heart up to where I would consider the high heart to be. Because for some reason I feel it to be sort of a little higher and to the right for some reason. Not way to the right, but right about here for me. I don't know why that is, but just right about here. If I were to point somewhere in my body,
Yeah.
that's where I think my high heart chakra or whatever anybody want to call it, right about here. So that's very interesting.
So I
Okay.
got a question for you on that note. Did you
Yes,
happen to
ma'am.
see my art yesterday that I had posted?
That beautiful purple. Oh, yes.
That was a higher heart activation with the
Oh
mystic
my God.
fire.
I didn't read it. I didn't do anything. I just saw it. And so, oh my gosh, Crystal, no wonder. Oh, oh my
Yeah.
God. Yes, I did. I saw it, but I was so busy I didn't get it. You know where I saw it? I saw it, I don't know how it appears on your phone, but on mine went in on Facebook. Well, see, it's still there. Can you see it?
Yep. Yep.
That's what I saw. Okay. That's what I saw. And I was like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. And then I had a whole bunch of stuff to do. Right.
Yep.
So, oh, great. Well, thank you. That explains a whole lot
That
right
was pretty
there in
cool
and of
that you
itself.
even mentioned that too. But I felt that when I was writing them codes into that art, I felt the intensity of the higher heart. And I just want to say too, if anybody's like, "Oh no, that's just going to activate somebody that doesn't wish to have their higher," no,
No,
that's not how it works. That
that's
is
not
not
how.
how it works.
No,
Like I
not at
already
all.
felt that. So let me just put that. That is no, that's not how it works. If it's meant for
No, that's
you,
not how any of that works. You're
no.
absolutely right. And the reason I can say that is because I witnessed code exchanges taking place with me and Lisa with other people, right? Complete strangers. And so that would pertain to exactly what you're saying, because I've actually asked that question before of my own guidance. And the answer I got was on some level, that being was ready or it wouldn't
Yep.
have occurred.
Yep. Exactly.
Because it's nothing that we did at all. And same thing for you. All you did was put it in there.
Yep.
loads of folks can look at those things and not have anything at
Yep.
all happen.
They
It's
might just
what
say,
it's got what in it. It does what now? I've had that happen, right? So and not have any kind of experience from it because on some level that being wasn't ready, didn't want it at all, or like I said, wasn't ready,
yep.
decided at that time wasn't ready, because there's, whether we know it or not, believe it or not, or whatever, we all have a higher portion of ourselves that has planned most everything. They're not going to push anything on the little being, the character known as Sheila
Yep.
will never be forced by that higher portion, by my soul. That's not how this works either. Yeah, we on our higher level, we set up to meld and come fully into this physical vessel, but it's never a push. It's not like that. That's not how any of this works. So
Yep. I agree.
thanks for bringing that up, because that was a very important point there that
Yeah.
you did, that you brought up. Well, my love, thank you so much for this. I am so beat, man. Being up till 3:30 this morning. And then I shared with you before we got on camera, I'm not used to gallivanting all day and going, just moving from one thing to the next, to the next, to the, it was a glorious day, don't get me wrong, but I am so sleepy now. I'm
Yeah.
going to rest. I'm going to rest very well tonight.
Well,
So thank
good.
you
Get you
for
some
doing
good
this with
sleep.
me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I guess I want to tell everyone this. I know this is a very different. I guess I never even said that, my name is Sheila Corona.
And I'm Crystal Hemphill.
That's right. And this has been a collaboration between Corona Rising and Journey Into It. And I'm so grateful to you. We got to figure out a way. And I know there's got to be a way where we can go live on both channels at the same time. I just know there's got to be a way. And we are going to figure that out, I think, at some point. So I don't know how, but we'll just have to. And I'd like to be able to figure out how to do it on Facebook too, all the different
Yeah,
places.
I know.
Yeah.
The only
Well,
the
I
only
know
thing that
that's,
I know is restream. But I had a thought just now when you said that. Like if I pulled up, the next time we do something like this, I pull up restream and share my screen to restream, and I can go live from restream, not from Zoom. That
oh,
that might be a way to do it.
okay. Well, you and I got to talk about this restream thing because I don't know anything about that either.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds great. Okay. Well, oh wow! Look, when I came back, now it shows my whole room. Everybody gets to see my clap. My I usually
I
hide my door.
I thought that changed when you popped back on. I was like,
Yep.
something
Well, see,
different.
well, when I do, my lives and stuff, I pull the camera in a little bit just so that there, it gets a better shot of my face and a little less of my messy, hanging on the back of my door there. That's just really the only reason. Um, well, maybe it's not the only reason. I kind of like him. Close it up. No.
I'm all up in the camera like, hi.
Well, but see, when I read tarot, this way I don't have to go. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do that anyway, but that way it blocks out more, and this is bigger. So anyway,
Yeah.
that was that.
I need a way to like get mine. You know how you can hold your phone up and like take the perfect picture from up high? I need a way to get my webcam up high.
Ah, ooh, we'll have to
uh,
talk about that off camera. I might have the fix for you.
all right. All right. I'm going to stop recording now.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna.
Bye.
Well, I was going to tell everybody to go over and subscribe to Journey Into It
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube. There will be a link, And also, if you've not subscribed to Corona Rising, love to have you. Just make sure and double click that notification bell.
Yep.
If YouTube feels like it, they'll notify you. If they don't, you might not know about it for a couple of days, but I do go live, and that way, hopefully you'll get notified. So
Yep.
until next time. Oh, and like I said, you go ahead. You were getting ready to say something.
To say that your channel is featured on mine, so it should be fairly easy to actually find it.
Oh, actually, the same thing for me. I have Journey Into It featured on mine as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's very easy to find. And there will also be a link in the show more section. And oh, yeah, I want to also say you're a BQH, that's Beyond Quantum Healing Practitioner. And so am I.
Hmm.
And so we're both available for those. And like I said, reach out for anything, anytime to both of us, journeyintoit at gmail.com. And mine, of course, is still conscious conversation central at gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Right.
Till we meet again, choose joy.